Hello and welcome back to this show, to this channel. Thank you once again for joining me. Today, we are going to dive in and talk about how we create the process to sell digital products using Pinterest. And today, we are diving into part 4 of our 4-part series of selling digital products using Pinterest. So if this is your first time joining me, if we have not yet met, welcome. My name is Jen Dice, and I'm super excited to have you here. I am a Pinterest strategist and evergreen marketing enthusiast, I will say, and expert on the topic of using Pinterest to drive traffic to generate new leads and sales in your business and ultimately build those relationships and those lifelong customers. So if you have not caught the first 3 videos of this 4-part series, please swing back, watch those through in order because we're walking through different pieces and parts of the customer journey. And that customer journey is how somebody goes from not knowing you, being a complete stranger, to completely falling in love with your business and becoming a loyal customer and fan of your business and a part of your world for the long term. So we're going to dive into part 4, and this 4th part is really, we're going to dive into talking about how to nurture those relationships. So if we recap really quickly, the 4 things we've talked about, we talked about breaking things up in that customer journey as there's pieces and parts that happen on Pinterest. And then there's parts of that customer journey that happen off of Pinterest. And so what that really means is that once your people or once your person finds you on Pinterest, they click the pin, they click the image, and they come to your website. That's that first step on the second half of their customer journey where they're actually starting to explore and look into you as a business and how maybe what you have to offer and how you can help solve their problem. So last video, we talked about what really happens when that person clicks to your website. And then we really talked about giving them a really good experience, delivering on the value that the pin offered when they clicked over. So they got exactly what they were looking for. Your website, your post wasn't a hot mess full of pop-up ads, and they didn't have to scroll a mile to find the information that they were looking for. You gave them the information. It was a clean and cohesive experience. And then at the end of that, you had a crystal clear call to action so that those who are ready to take that next step with you could self-select and opt in. So that's usually through a freebie, and that freebie will help to pull somebody off of your website and now a part of your digital space, your online world, on your email list. So that is where we are picking up today. So it's that point where we've got the visitors that come to your website and they self-select, they've read the information and they want to know more. So the people that are going to opt in, this is the group of people we're talking about. So they've already said yes to you. They've already opted in. They've exchanged email addresses. They've wanted to take that next step. They've gotten your freebie. So they're starting to get to know you. So here today, we're going to talk about 3 tips or 3 key points to kind of consider when we're looking at nurturing and building this relationship. Because remember, they might have opted into your email list, but that doesn't mean they're going to also pull out their credit card and buy from you. Some people will, but not everybody. So we have to set the stage to continue to build that relationship with them because again, they don't know you. They might have just met you from a couple of interactions with a couple of your pins. They've seen a couple of your blog posts. Maybe they've just found you in their first time searching for something. They found you, they got a lot of value, and they said, yes, I want to join this. I want to opt in. I want the free thing because this person has been super helpful. So tip number 1, or the key point number 1 we're going to talk about is once they opt in, you want to make sure that you have a way or a system or an automation or something set up so that you are welcoming them into your world. So it's not necessarily where they opted into your list and their name just goes into the great abyss of this list that you're collecting and you're not doing anything with, because again, they're going to go searching for the freebie. They're going to get the free thing. And then if you don't continue to build that relationship with them, they're going to forget all about you. They're going to continue to go back. They're going to continue to keep searching, and they're going to try to piece together a bigger solution rather than just staying tuned into you and what you have to offer. So this is where the first thing you want to make sure is once they opt in, you have a way to welcome them. If it's through email, for sure, you want that welcome sequence. There are a lot of experts out there that can walk you through the types of emails that you include in that welcome sequence, but usually it's just a way that you're warming them up and really helping them to get to know you. And then you can continue to serve and add more value through that email list, that welcome sequence. So that you're further building that trust with them from the get-go. So it's less you're not just collecting their email, you're really trying to continue to help them. And you can do that through just a simple short welcome sequence where they get a series of emails that maybe are supplemental to what they downloaded. So maybe it's going to help to introduce you a little bit more, tell them a little bit more about who you are, how you got started in business, so they get to know you. But then also you can continue to add value. So maybe they downloaded a checklist. That was the freebie that they got. So maybe one of your emails, you can set a series of tips that will help them implement or take action with that freebie. So they didn't just download something that's going to collect dust on their hard drive. So you're actually trying to help walk with them through the process of implementing that free resource that they downloaded from you. So some sort of a welcoming into your world. So that's through email. And then, the other way to think about it too is if you have a Facebook group and somebody joins the Facebook group, that's another way that you can sort of walk them through a little bit of a welcoming. I would say I wouldn't try to grow your Facebook group directly from a Pinterest pin. I would use the pin to get have them get the freebie, the download, and get onto the email list. And then through the email list, that's where through that welcome sequence, you can invite them to other things like the free Facebook group that you have. Maybe you're more active in there. Maybe your next step with them is to offer them like a lower ticket offer, a $27 digital product, a $17 product, something on the lower end that is going to then help take them to that next step. So there's a lot of different ways you can go through it, but really that welcome piece and portion is a way for you to really introduce yourself, continue to add value, and again, walk them through what the next steps are. Because once that welcome sequence ends, then we're going to be working on just that continued relationship building. So that's key point number one, is making sure you're welcoming them into your world. You have that sequence ready to go so that you're able to just communicate with them a little bit more deeply once they sign onto your email list, and they're not just sitting on a list and they never hear from you again after you've collected their email. Tip number two is key point number two is to continue to build that relationship. So this is where once they go through the welcome, you have a way that you're consistently reaching out, you're consistently reaching them, consistently adding value, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however you want to do that. And yes, that is through your email. This is where we are continuing to nurture that relationship, build that relationship, follow up with the potential customers that maybe they went through, they downloaded the free opt-in, and maybe they didn't take you up on any other offers, any other paid offers, the $27 thing or $37 thing. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just need to get to know you a little bit. So this is where you continue to build that relationship through your consistent email marketing. And this looks, again, there's other experts out there that can really dive and work with your industry and your and like the customer base that you work with, into what frequency, what type of content you're putting out, like what's going to work best for you. But whatever you determine, just making sure that it is consistent. So if you're doing a weekly email, just consistently sending those emails out weekly. If you're doing a few emails a week, same thing. Make sure whatever you're doing, it is consistent so that you're always showing value, you're getting to know them, and you're building that relationship with them. So that is key point number two. And then key point number three is, as you continue to nurture and grow and build that relationship over time, you are going to continue to add value at the same time as you're going to continue to ask for that next step from them. So it's more of, yes, we're along the lines of we're going to give and give and give, but we're also going to ask too, what would that next step be? And this is where, again, you can go on the back end of your email service provider and figure out, different ways that people are coming into your world, what makes the most sense to ask of them. So somebody that came in on a freebie, it would make more sense to ask of them to look at or consider a $27 product versus, maybe jumping into a higher ticket coaching package right away, because that's a bigger jump. So just thinking about where your people are at. And there's other ways that you can work with different offers that you're rolling out. You can work with different services. And then as people start to select into those different offers, maybe you do like one-to-one coaching, and you've got people that come into your email list and then they do book a coaching session with you. It's a one-time thing. It's something where maybe they're dipping their toe in, they're testing the waters, but that person is going to be at a different level than the person that just maybe downloaded the freebie and they're sort of looking at maybe investing $27. The person that's already said yes and has invested in a one-to-one session with you, they might be somebody that you would want to talk to a little bit more on a separate basis than to roll into like a higher ticket group, like a group coaching package, a one-to-one coaching package, however that looks. But that's where you look at what people are interested in. You can kind of segment them or group them based on what they are taking action on. And then just that will help you determine like what would make the most sense to give this person the next step or the next level or that next opportunity to work with you. So those are my 3 tips for nurturing those relationships, because when we talk about digital, like selling digital products on Pinterest, Pinterest is just the first piece of it. We work with Pinterest as a tool for the traffic that is going to get to your website. So we start to try to get qualified traffic to your website. But even from there, every step of the way, your people are self-selecting in or out. So the people that are scrolling on Pinterest and they click on your pin, they're self-selecting to check you out and say, okay, what's going on here? Read your information. And then some of them leave. And then some of them will self-select into your opt-in and download your free thing, join your free workshop. They will just do that next step with you, that first simple, easy next step. Join your Facebook group if that's what you have on your blog. So that's another self-selecting of a person that's going to end up on your email list. And from those people that end up on your email list, you have to figure out how they came to be there. So the person that is coming from Pinterest typically is going to be an easier yes to get something simple like a download or a freebie. You can test the waters with seeing if somebody from Pinterest will sit and do a webinar with you, but I would opt for just something that's a little bit more of an easier yes, because that traffic is a little bit more cold. It's colder traffic. So there's a little bit more of a runway. So you're going to do more of your nurturing and your marketing on the back end. So selling products on Pinterest, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going pin to product to sale and it's over and done. Boom. If you have a big enough presence on Pinterest, so you have followers, those followers see your stuff, they know you. Yes, when you roll things out, they're going to know your brand, they're going to know your business. And those are the people that are warmer to you on Pinterest that are going to do the purchasing right from Pinterest. The people that are just finding you in search, it's a cold lead. So they're going to need that warm up time to say yes to purchasing from you, or even to just give you their email address. So just keep that in mind, that when we're actually selling those digital products from Pinterest, the sales and all of that are typically coming from the back end. What you're doing with your email marketing, what you're doing to build that relationship, what you're doing inside your Facebook group to continue to nurture those people so that they get to know you, like you, trust you, and then buy from you. So that is all I have for this training. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you have any other questions, you want to know more, you can easily join my Facebook community as well. I go live in there. I do a little bit more deeper dives on some of the stuff around Pinterest and marketing in the online digital marketing industry. and space. So there's a link below where you can join us there. And then if this is your first time joining and you want to make sure that you catch the latest videos as they roll out, please make sure you subscribe below, and then you won't miss another episode as I roll these out each week. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next week with more fun, more marketing, more Pinterest, more ways for you to continue to grow and leverage your marketing time in your business. All right. Bye, guys.